Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 442 podcast. I'm Azar Mathani, and as always, I'm joined by the wonderful Tommy Sandy.
That's me.
And the litigious Tony O.
Morning, boys. Top of the morning to you.
It's just cold, frigid, or
yeah, I mean, of
like
course,
that,
it's a cold morning. Look at Tony.
Yeah, he's all
bundled up.
Hoodie's tight. He's tight. He's so cold. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing to do with the equipment failure that I'm currently battling.
The equipment that's failing is your body in the cold.
Is it?
It was
over. Pretty cold yesterday, actually.
Yeah, it's almost over, guys.
It's cold out there. I don't know. It's cold out there today as well in Toronto. So
yeah, we're getting minus 20s again. Man, I don't know. It just feels like it was so concentrated this year, like the bad weather. Like for a long time, the winter was great, and then.
You mean like we had an actual winter for once? Is probably what happened. Yeah, it's shocking that we got that. But hey, we made it to March, guys. Look, it's March on the calendar. That's good. We've gone to the worst.
Someone tell the weather outside that it's March.
Honestly,
I know it's March. Tell them.
I never think we're in the clear until July. I saw snow in June once, and I was like, yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, so...
You know what? The first year I was in Canada, I played a football tournament at McMaster in like the middle of May, and I did get hailed on, so I'm there with you.
June, my first winter year, it snowed in June in Waterloo. I'm like, okay. Yeah, this country.
I don't believe you.
It happened. There were witnesses.
There's your mistake. You were in Waterloo. You can't trust that.
Yeah, apparently. Haven't been back since. So.
I don't blame you.
You know what? Fair. Fair. All this to delay talking about the FA Cup because no one has the right bloody subscription to watch it on TV.
I do.
Well, yeah.
All right, Tommy. No, Tommy. Tell us which, because we talked about this beforehand. You don't know which channel it's on.
Apparently, it's on TSN or Sportsnet. So
that was Uzi.
No. That's what I said. That was the last place I knew it was. I did not say it is still on there.
I believe you.
I actually do not know.
They still have the rights. They must have the rights. Yeah. They have the rights to something. They don't have the rights to Premier League here. They don't have the rights to Champions League. They probably have the rights to the FA Cup. You gotta show Canadians some sort of soccer, right? TSN, they gotta pay for something. Yeah, so
TSN has the World Cup, don't they?
Yeah, once every 4 years, they're gonna show soccer to Canadians. No,
Euro every 2 years, Copa America.
Yeah,
you go there for the international tournaments.
Okay, but I'm sure
Sportsnet. It's Sportsnet.
Sportsnet, look at that.
Sportsnet Plus, not TSN.
We've done the detective work, and we found out. Look at that.
Yeah. This is why
200 a year for the FA Cup. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Someone else who is not going to be doing the FA Cup anymore this year is Man United because they got knocked out by Fulham. 1-1 during the game, 3-4 on penalties to Fulham. The deciding penalty missed by Joshua Zirkzee, and
could have been
you know
a worse
what?
person to miss. Yeah.
I felt bad for him. There was a clip going around after the game of like everyone from both teams coming up to console him.
Yeah, he was in tears,
like,
man. Devastated.
Yeah.
And he had a good game.
I felt for him.
Relative
to everything else. No, he played well. I mean, look, hey, the positive side of this.
Positive.
There's fewer Man United games to watch.
To watch?
there's
to not watch?
Well,
fewer Man United games to not watch.
I was keeping up with the game because it's impossible for me to not keep up with the game.
This is fair.
Even if it's not right in front of me, I am following along. It is a massive character flaw of mine.
I just wonder if Bruno was injured at any point
relegated
this season
relegated
for a little bit.
Done.
Like,
fuck relegated. We'd go into administration or something.
They would be right there beside Leicester. I've always said it. The squad is so similar to Leicester's squad. Is crazy. Bruno is the difference. His ball striking, by the way, is fantastic. That's a great goal he scores, man.
World class. It's world class finish. It's so nice. I don't know where we'd be without this man. It's the reason I'm like, fuck, whatever, like the however whiny and complaining he can be on the pitch, I'm like, I don't care. He is the heart and soul of the team. There is nothing else.
I feel he's been less whiny in the past few months. Like he's been a bit more decisive. Like in terms of actually contributing. Like I think he scored in or assisted in all your FA Cup ties this season.
Probably.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. I know he scored against Arsenal. He definitely got the assist for
Harry Maguire. Yeah. So
I mean, had 2 assists midweek, I think.
Yeah, got the goal against Everton. Like, of late, he's been the only one that you can rely on for any form of outputs, which makes me wonder why he's not been in my fantasy team this whole time. But, yeah.
I simply could not take the
risk.
Emotional damage that having him on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
If he stops performing after I bring him into my fantasy team, I'll know it's my fault.
Yeah.
So he's
and
not.
you'd lose on 2
You bring
fronts.
him in, I'm not.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
The
this
football.
game. If
I
you
heard
look
it was
at
pretty
especially
bad.
the first half was particularly dire.
That's what I was getting messages that it was the worst football match since the Fulham Man United game. I don't know if you remember the one at Craven Cottage. I think was it Martinez that scored?
Oh, I do remember. Yeah, Martinez got the only goal. There were 2 things that happened in that game. Martinez got a goal in the 80-something minute, and then Collier cleared one off the line in the last minute, and nothing else happened in that game. I remember watching that. With, I think I watched the last half an hour of that match at a friend's place. We were just hanging out, and I had it on my phone, and a friend's like half watching with me, and I had to apologize afterwards. I'm like, this is not what it is like to watch a Premier League game most of the time. Oftentimes, things happen. But yeah,
it's just too bad that this game wasn't at Craven Cottage, where United actually have a good record. You know, then we had a chance at home. Forget about it.
I think we had the discussion last week. United,
we created more chances than Fulham in this game.
Yeah,
Onana made a couple of saves, but also all of our chances were created after Højlund went off and Garnacho came on. Yeah. And Højlund is bad. It's bad right now. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen a striker more out of form than Højlund. And I watched Wout Weghorst. I say out of form.
Yeah.
Might just be who he is.
I was going to say, I don't know that this is out of form for Højlund. Yeah, I had 2 notes. So I read Garnacho has not scored since November. Is that right?
It's been a while since he has scored.
You could see it in his finishes, man. They were like he had clear-cut chances in this game. The one, I don't know who played the ball over the top, but he was through on goal and he just rolled it to the keeper. Like, he was really struggling. Like, he looks like he's been really struggling of late, and that kind of makes sense. He's not, he's not been in form, and he seems to be snatching at chances. The other thing I noted down, so Cheeto Obi Martin's getting minutes now, especially with Højlund out of form. And he looked a handful, albeit I've always had hesitation about his ball striking, and I think you could see in this game that he's not very clean when it comes to striking the ball. But yeah, he did provide something.
He's very raw, but he moves like a striker. He doesn't finish like one quite yet, but he moves like one. And that's, you know what, he's 17. That's not a bad place to start from.
Yeah.
You can improve your technique. And he's got the space to improve.
He's going to go one of 2 ways. Emmanuel Adebayor or Yaya Sonogo. Like, one or 2 ways.
It's true.
He reminds me of both in a way. So, we'll see. But, the penalties, I mean, yeah.
Very good penalties until Victor Lindelof stepped up.
Yeah.
Berger's pen was amazing. Top shelf. Like very, very, very
Sanderberg. I was like, who
Sanderberger.
Sanderberg.
Maybe I should have said his first name. Yeah. We talk about hamburgers here.
Yeah, I was like, who the hell? Okay.
This man's hungry.
Yeah.
He hit that penalty like the ball owed him some fucking money.
It was fantastic. Yeah. And of course, Bruno scores his. his record on penalties is really good. Like not just like in shootouts, but like overall.
His general penalty record's amazing. He's
really
missed
solid.
2 or 3, I think.
All in the space of a few weeks.
Yeah. It was Evi Martinez had his number briefly.
Yeah.
United have been involved in 7 penalty shootouts in the last 4 or 5 years. It's not good. It's not good for the health.
Yeah.
I think starting from that Europa League final with
Villarreal,
where it went to all the way to De Gea missing a penalty. It was Villarreal.
It was Emery.
Yeah.
That's all I remember. So.
It was Emery.
Yeah.
I just saw Emery. In my mind immediately went Sevilla, but no, it was the other one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lindelof never looked like he was gonna convert.
I don't know why he's taking a penalty.
You'd expect Garnacho to be the one taking one there, but
yeah. Again, no confidence.
Yeah, like you said, hasn't scored a goal in a while. Probably didn't want to put his hand up. And other than Garnacho, I think our only forward left on the pitch who didn't take one was Cheeto, and he's a kid. Generally want to protect the kids. But,
yeah, that's fair.
Well, that's one less thing for me to worry about. Europa League is on Thursday, so we'll see if another one gets.
Who do you guys have in Europa League?
Sociedad.
Real Sociedad.
Okay.
So not an easy one either.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I fucking hate these Spanish teams, man. We keep getting drawn against them, and I hate them every single time.
Yeah, Spanish side in Europe is always a tough match. It doesn't matter who it is. It's going to be a tough match, yeah. Just wondering who plays on Sociedad nowadays that we may remember, but
what do you mean? Oyarzabal, what's his face? Zubimendi,
Zubimendi is Sociedad. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Tommy.
Hey, whoa! I don't follow this team that close. I must have known this one.
Yeah. No, Sociedad is a good team. It'll be a difficult game.
Yeah,
I would say they're favorites. I'll be honest.
Well, I mean that's
we are running out of players because Maguire came off injured in this game with a hamstring issue.
Yeah.
Xerxes looked exhausted by the time the full-time whistle went. We're genuinely we're running on empty at this point. We're just in full-on just survive to the end of the season mode. Just get through it, get it done. And hopefully we can emotionally reset in the summer.
I don't know how you can do that. But yeah. It's gonna be a long road.
It'll be great.
To where?
To
where we don't know.
A long road to somewhere.
Yeah.
A long road that it was eventually just a circle that ends up back in this spot.
Ooh, that would be.
Dorgu was suspended for this game, right?
Sorry.
Dorgu, your fullback.
Yes, he was suspended.
He was suspended for this game. Okay, so he'll be back for that.
Yeah, he'll be back for that.
Yeah, because
we didn't even name a full bench. We had 2 empty spots on the bench.
So you mean anyone from the crowd? Hey guys, come on, fill the seats.
We're fine. We got spare seats. Might as well sit down. We had 2 goalies and still 2 empty spots on the bench.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Newcastle 1, Brighton 2. Eventful game. Really eventful game. Danny Welbeck with the winner. That guy Welbs.
Yeah.
But a stunning finish, right?
His finishing has gotten better with age.
It's
gotten
so much better.
It's so strange to see this amount of composure from Welbeck, consistently.
That was the big. It was the big knock on him when he was coming through with United, and when he was our backup striker, it was just he puts in a shift, puts himself out there. It's just the finishing is not there.
He was always quality,
and it's just gone better and better.
But that finish, that was not in his locker at all.
No.
From that angle to dink the ball like that was ridiculous. Big plus for Brighton that he's back from injury because he's been missed massively, and. Yeah, Newcastle. I mean, I don't know. They're a weird team. They're just a very weird team.
They seem prone to a meltdown.
Yeah, they do, and they seem to pick they pick and choose when they perform. I don't know. but you never know what you're gonna get with them, despite them having so many quality players.
And they always decide they're going to perform when they play Arsenal.
This is true as well. Yeah. This is true. We have a grudge. It's a bit of a grudge match.
They always perform well against Arsenal. They always perform well against United.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been like that the whole season. You remember how they started? They were so terrible at the start of the season. Yeah. And they picked it up, and then the last couple of months, it seems like they've been on and off. One game here, one game that. They have a cup final, right, against Liverpool coming up. Maybe that was on their mind in this game.
I thought they would win that cup final until this weekend. Genuinely, I thought they would turn up for that cup final. Now I'm wondering who's going to score if it's not Isak, because Gordon's suspended after this stupid red card.
You know Gordon's not going to be, I don't understand what Gordon was doing.
He was he was super frustrated, and then takes it out with two hands on the face. Can't do that. You just can't do that, guy. All right.
He completely lost his head. Yeah.
The boy, he thinks he's Jake Paul. That's what happens. He looks in the mirror, sees that he looks like Jake Paul, and thinks he's like Jake Paul. He saw Jake Paul wrestling in Toronto over the weekend and was like, I can do some of this.
I'll be honest, I must have seen Jake Paul on TV tens of times, I don't know, hundreds, whatever. I have no idea what he looks like. He's just my mind.
He looks like Anthony Gordon.
Imagine Gordon.
Anthony Gordon.
100 pounds more muscle, or maybe 50 pounds more muscle on him. That's pretty much the guy.
I'll take your word.
They let him in Canada. They let this guy cross the border.
Surprised
we let him in. That's crazy.
Why didn't we put tariffs on that? Put tariffs on him. Just specifically him. Don't let him in here.
But yeah,
who equalized for Brighton? Who was it that leveled? Oh, it was Minte, right? Like a known goal, kind of.
Yeah, it was a
deflected finish.
He was kind of played through, tried to finish, and deflected it off a defender. And I think Tariq Lamptey got sent off in this game as well for a stupid second yellow.
Yeah. I think if I was a manager and my fullback gets a yellow card, I'd just take him off. I wouldn't risk it.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Some of us are smart. Some of us know not to dive in when on a yellow.
I can't risk it. Yeah. Lamptey getting sent off for probably 2 fouls is, a bit frustrating. I don't think the second one had to be a yellow, but I think having sent Gordon off, the ref really had no choice but to send him.
Once you're on a yellow and you lunge in, you're risking it every time. It's that point where it's just like you've now taken the decision out of your own hands, and why would you do that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Oh well.
Good win for Brighton.
Quarterfinals.
The quarterfinals.
Weird.
Outside of Man City, look interesting. I'm like, anyone but City wins this, and it's a huge fucking deal. Yeah. I'm so desperate for it.
It's open for someone to make the finals, for sure, to play City. Whoever that is. We don't know, but
we don't know that City are going to get to the FA Cup final.
I'm already writing them in, man. I'm sorry. I'm writing them in. They say the Premier League, they're the Cups, man, they just don't win this one.
What do you mean the Cups? They've been crap in everything. Champions League, Carabao, they've been crap in everything.
I am noting down that Tommy is writing in City for the final.
I'm writing them in. Yeah. I know, hey, Bournemouth.
They play Bournemouth away. That is not easy. That is
I am simply writing this down to see if Tommy has now jinxed City.
Yeah.
Our apologies to any of the City fans.
Why? Apologies? No way. Why would you apologize to them? They don't need our apologies.
That's true. They've apologies to Guy, apologies to Alex. Yeah. Palace. They played. I was gonna try to find a nice way to describe Millwall, but they played. There's no nice words I can use to describe Millwall. Like, bunch of bastards. Millwall. They won 3-1. Millwall down to 10 men for most of this game because of a frankly horrific challenge on Jean-Philippe Mateta. Goalie flying in, foot head height, just completely. He gets Mateta side of the ear. He ends up having to be taken to hospital and get stitched up from it. Terrifying injury. And
what is really terrifying is that a referee saw that face head for everything, I did not think that was a red card. That is terrifying to me. Like, I almost called him Mike Dean. Michael Oliver is... Yeah. He's become terrible. I keep getting these talks of best in the country.
He wasn't this bad all the time. Like
no,
before,
when he first came through, I think he was a very good referee. I don't know what's happened in the past 5 years. He's been awful. Awful. Like,
imagine there was no VAR in this game. Yeah. And that was not called.
Your first job as a referee is to protect the players, man. That's your first responsibility. How can you see that? Did he even give a yellow? I can't remember.
I don't think he got anything.
I don't think
there was a card.
That is terrifying. Like,
guy,
he was taken to hospital, 25 stitches. Like, wow. Yeah. And he'll be reffing next week. And who knows? Maybe the cup final. That's the way it goes, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, at the same time, like, even as a player, like, come on. As a keeper, why are you doing that?
Honestly, with keepers, they do this all the time, man.
I know, but like, with your
remember the World Cup final? Was it Neuer and Higuain? Wait, absolutely volleyed him in the face. Yeah, I think it was Neuer and Higuain, the one Germany one. I remember that one. Wasn't given. Nothing was given that day either. Yeah.
Keepers, they're a special breed. Sometimes they're wild. They're crazy. Yeah.
They have license to do what they want.
Yeah. But this is up there with some of the worst challenges you'll see for sure.
Yeah.
Rough. Well, but hey, at least Mateta's fine. He seems fine,
okay.
So that's good. Yeah.
You know what? This gives us the chance of getting a Batman mask, Jean-Philippe Mateta, and look. Mateta looks like a peak Barclays striker.
Yeah.
He's got the shirt tucked in. He's got everything. With the mask, whoo! I'm ready. Give me mask Jean-Philippe. I want it. I need it.
Can't help but think of Benteke when I think of Mateta. So many, even with the top.
Benteke was great Barclays.
He was.
Great Barclays.
Yeah.
You know, Palace is just... Like, I remember even they had a terrible start this season. And I think Tony was saying, like, but, like, they played well. They just the results haven't been coming their way. Mm-hmm. They're in, like, at least...
They're in good form.
Seems very good form last month or so. At least in the Premier League, where they picked up some wins. And now quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Pretty good.
That's why, like, I think a lot of it will depend on Mateta's health because he scores so many of their goals. And if he's not scoring their goals, he's occupying defenders. He's involved in some way. Yeah. Like, there's no replacement for him if he's off the field.
Hey,
like, Eddie Nketiah will try.
He's scored in back-to-back games now.
He's got another goal. Okay. Look at that.
Yeah. He's answering the call.
Nketiah for 90 minutes, though?
Well, he seems to think so. So.
Of course. Well, you know what? It will be very worrying if he didn't think so.
Yeah. First of all, I think Mateta will be fine. Like, I think, I'd be surprised if he's not available for the next game, to be honest, just based on reports. And I think Crystal Palace's main issue was kind of adjusting to life without Olise. Because it was a very big stylistic difference from Olise to Ismaila Sarr. They've seemed to have found that balance. Because Sarr is typically an out-and-out winger or forward, right? And Olise and Eze were playing like playmakers behind Mateta. They had that little triangle going. So they seem to have a good balance now. Who knows? Outside shot for the cup final. They do have history. They've
got Fulham in the next round, and they're away at Craven Cottage, and they just beat Fulham, I think 4-1 at Craven Cottage or something like that.
Wow. I mean, it's nice to see.
Was that Fulham?
Ben Chill.
Or Villa? Was that Fulham that they beat?
Oh, sorry, they beat Villa 4-1. They did beat Fulham recently at Craven Cottage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's nice to see Ben Chilwell, actually play football and get games.
That's right.
I'm happy for him.
Forgot about him.
We shut the door on this guy. Didn't let him train, didn't let him play. And here he is.
You are
decent,
Yeah, you're close.
We are scourge.
Man.
We're a scourge.
They're
You'll be calling him back soon.
I mean, we've gone to the point where Chelsea fans are like protesting against the owners. Because they had that protest in midweek before the Southampton. I was like, well timed to plan it for the Southampton game. Being like, we'll win this one. We can protest at this. Protests will get more coverage when we win. They can't just say, oh, they're protesting because they lost this one.
Yeah, I saw a sign, win or fuck off. We're not Arsenal. Something like that. Yeah, that was decent. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And for some reason, I was watching. I saw Atletico's game on the weekend, and I saw Conor Gallagher going in for challenges, winning tackles, seemingly going crazy. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's the guy we sold to bring João Felix in. Where's João Felix now? Oh right, we loaned him out to Milan after signing a first-year contract. It's like the type of players that would have really benefited our squad. We sold them off for who? Who doesn't play for us? We are a scourge. We are the lowest of the low. We suck.
Hey, get in line, Tommy. Get in line.
It's not as bad as you guys. I know. We're not as bad as you guys. It's close.
You're not denying staff food at this point. Yeah.
It may come. Hey, have you? Hey, this is just an article about Bowley and his the ownership and that sort of thing, and if Chelsea doesn't turn a profit or their
I told you this at the start of the season that you are a bag of stocks, and the bet was that your stock rises are going to rise
every year,
and they are dropping. The stock prices are dropping. Yeah.
Guess what happens? We're going to have to fire some of the staff. No lunchtime meals. Yeah, it's going to happen to us.
You have an 8-year span where you need to turn a profit, or things could get ugly for Chelsea. This is just the start. Someone's going to have to step in and do something. They are dragging you guys down. Even though you're having, your season's been relatively, I don't know what to call it. It's not been Man United. But their health, because the money that's been used to buy most of these players is not the ownership. These are shareholders. They're expecting profit. Right? So, hey, I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next 2 years, but this is not sustainable.
No chance. Yeah. No chance.
One team that looks a little bit more sustainable is Bournemouth. They beat Wolves on penalties. It was 5-4 on the penalties in this one. 1-1 during the game. I mean, the big news coming out of this is Matheus Cunha has managed to get himself suspended again for being just a massive dickhead.
He is a player that belongs in a different time. We were talking Barclays, man. He is actual peak Barclays, score a ridiculous goal.
Did you see his goal?
Yeah.
His goal was insane.
Crazy. I mean,
so good.
I always have a question mark with Kepa in goal. But I think it was Kepa, right? That was in goal for... Yeah. But then to get sent off, he's a nutcase. But, good player. Really good.
3-game suspension, right as Wolves were just managed to put a bit of space between themselves and the relegation zone. You know what? I appreciate it. Keep things interesting. My fantasy team does not appreciate it. 4 points.
It's not that much.
Yeah,
it's not that much.
Cunha's
it's one of those 5 points, but it's one of those one loss and one bump of a result for Ipswich, and all of a sudden you're like, fuck, I'm sweating now.
Yeah, Ipswich have not won in their last 5 games. Leicester in their last 4. These guys suck.
I am trying to manufacture some tension. We got no tension in the title race. All we have is the Champions League race, which, to be fair, is a lot of fun right now. Yeah. That's it. We got nothing else.
Yeah.
I'm having fun watching the Champions League race. I'm not involved. I don't need to take any stress from it.
No. I was just going to say, Cunha kind of reminds me of Diego Costa in terms of his attitude.
Yeah.
Did they play together?
Did they overlap?
They might have overlapped at
Atletico. I think they did.
Okay, maybe that's where they learned it. I don't know. I can't recall at all. But the attitude is certainly there. But this guy is definitely, he has the quality to play for a bigger team. But 100%. I'm not sure a bigger team is gonna wanna deal with that guy's like.
I would take him in a heartbeat.
You know what I mean? I'd take him.
I would take him in a heartbeat.
I want him.
100%. For that kind of quality, I take the red cards.
Look at what he can do with the football.
Yeah, that's the
look
thing,
at the
right?
team I support.
Listen, we already get red cards anyway, so might as well have quality in there.
Hey, Bruno's been sent off twice this season. We're used to our best players getting sent off.
Okay, so you're at home. Yeah, at home with this guy.
Yeah,
fuck it. We'll end with 9 players, but we'll have some fun.
Then this summer might be the time. Yeah.
Tommy, I just want to feel alive. That's all I want.
Yeah, I hear you. That was good. Yeah. Hey, Cunha will do that for you. That's for sure.
Hey, he'll make you feel alive. He'll make you feel something. That's it. That's what football's about, right? It's about the emotion.
Yeah,
I want to feel something.
Exactly. Yeah. Hopefully, you haven't grown too numb where you can't actually feel anything after. But who doesn't get in that case?
It might take a while for the feeling to come back. You know, like when you've been sitting too long and your foot's falling asleep. It takes a while for the pins and needles to go away. It's gonna be one of those. I've fallen asleep on my arm. It's just flopping about for a bit.
Yeah, that's.
They did not overlap.
Cunha did not overlap. Okay.
1 year. They missed each other by 1 year. Cunha was the replacement.
Hey,
it makes perfect sense.
The spirit remained. The spirit remained.
Yeah.
You kill the man, but not the idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of things that have not died yet, Man City's season is still alive. They beat Plymouth 3-1. They will be playing away at Bournemouth in the next round, which I think will be a very fun game, because Bournemouth are fun going forwards and City still cannot defend. 1 shot on target for Plymouth. They scored it. And they took the lead in this game. Unfortunately, I forget the City kid's name who scored twice. O'Reilly, I think.
Or was it O'Reilly? I either assume it's O'Reilly or McAtee. It's one of those both. Yeah.
Scored twice in this game, including getting the equaliser. Good for the kid. Comfortable for City second half. I think they had 30 shots in this game. Kevin De Bruyne is sealing it right at the end. Not too much to write home about in general in this game, but, relevant for giving City something to do, I guess.
They scored too early. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Scored in the 38th minute. You have to score in the second half with like 10 minutes to go. Yeah.
Hey, we know how City are like after conceding a goal in the second half. They can't handle it.
No. The stress would have been too much. But, yeah, chance for City to make something of this season. I remain not convinced that they will win this cup. I thought it was United's. I genuinely thought United were going to win the FA Cup.
Wow, that's shocking to see.
Yeah. I thought they would shithouse their way to another FA Cup. But
bullshit our way to a cup.
Yeah. But,
the Ten Hag special.
Yeah. But, well, we'll see. Pep,
all the teams left, we still have a game, Forest, Ipswich.
Yeah, there's still Forest, Ipswich today. The other games we didn't mention was Villa beating Cardiff 2-0 Friday night, and Preston beating Burnley 3-0, which is interesting for the fact that Burnley conceded some goals. They still have not conceded in the league since late December.
That's
really?
They conceded in the cup, but no goals.
Yeah.
It all. Oh man, did you? So JJ Watt, former NFL player, very legendary former NFL player, is a part owner of Burnley, and Burnley's goalie James Trafford tweeted at him or messaged him on Instagram saying, "Hey, come out of retirement, play for my favorite NFL team." And JJ Watt responded with, "If you don't concede a goal for the rest of the season, I'll come out of retirement." And James Trafford has not conceded a goal in the league since then.
It's wild.
The motivation, man. We thought James Trafford's playing for Burnley. Nah, he's playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. That's his real passion.
Hey, that Trafford investment might, pay off in the long run. Yeah, Leeds, Sheffield.
He is.
I'm shocked.
He's definitely the most stable Trafford in the north of England.
Their Burnley's manager is Scott Parker.
Scott Parker. Yeah.
It is it. Yeah. Okay.
The man who plays some of the most boring football in the world.
Yeah.
But it works, I guess.
So I've conceded 9 goals in the championship is ridiculous. If you watch the championship, you do not see 9 goals in the championship. Yeah. That's crazy. A lot of draws, so I'm assuming a lot of nil-nils in there.
Yeah, a lot of nil-nils.
Not a Mourinho special.
They don't score much, but they don't concede much.
Yeah.
All this to say, they lost 3-0 to Preston. So
yeah.
Preston are where in the table? Like, where are they? Is Preston a League One team?
Oh, I thought they were Championship. Maybe
so
they
did
are.
I. Oh no, they're right down. They're 15th.
Yeah,
they're 15th. I see them now. Yeah.
Out of all the teams left, all right, since they're none of our teams, all right, take away City. Which team would you like to see lift this cup that's left? Which would make you happy?
Wait, first of all, why take away City in that question?
Because we don't want to see them lift the cup.
No, but you said who would I like to see?
Who would you like to see?
You said
win?
Like to see. No, who would
you can involve City in that conversation. I'm not going to say City.
Okay, involve them. Okay.
Yeah.
I just know you want to pick them. That's all.
Well, I won't.
Villa.
Yeah, exactly.
I want Villa to win
it. I'd like to see Palace with it, just for fun and for Palace to be in Europe. Honestly, I'd be fine with Palace winning it. I think, honestly, any one of these teams, Premier League teams
genuinely, you could make an argument for any of these teams. Fulham never won a major trophy. Brighton, I don't know if they ever won an FA Cup in the past, but I have no memory of them winning anything. Bournemouth, I don't think have won a major trophy. Whichever one of Forest or Ipswich get through, you could be like, all right, Forest haven't won anything since the 70s, I think, was when they won the European Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Ipswich, again, not in our lifetimes. Like, all of these clubs have not won anything in our lifetimes. Even Villa, I think they won a League Cup in the 2000s under Martin O'Neill. But that's the last thing they
I don't remember this.
I know Martin O'Neill won a League Cup. I might have been with Villa. Someone will fact check me on this.
2000s.
But
you know what? I'll take your word for it. I can't remember, man. Yeah.
But these are not teams that we see every day win. I want to see this. This would be really good for the cup, I think, if a non-big team wins it. So everyone needs to band together and kick City the fuck out of this.
I think City will lose to Bournemouth. That's my
Inshallah.
Thing. Yeah, I think they'll lose to Bournemouth. Yeah.
I'm hoping Brighton is the team that takes it, just because, they deserve it. For me, they've done good things in the league, and it's nice to see that show for them with a title in here. But we'll see. It doesn't really matter.
So, they finished runners up. So O'Neill finished runner up with Villa. But I think he won it with Leicester.
Maybe that's what I was confused.
He won it with Leicester in the 90s.
And then finished runner.
Twice.
Okay, you know what? Fair. Yeah. I was like, I knew Martin O'Neill had won it, and I think I just assumed it was when he reached the final.
He loves this cup, man. He's won it twice, finished runner up twice. Wow. Yeah.
Nice. Gentlemen, stepping away from the FA Cup briefly, I'd like to take us to the German Sunday League. In a game between, let me get these names right, FC Taxi Duisburg 2 and SV Rot-Weiß Mulheim. We've all played similar-ish level. Ref does a bit of an ID check before the game for the teams. Unfortunately, this game had to be called off during the ID check after a child bit the ref's testicles.
This is
Tony's face right now. This is not where he expected this one to go.
Who's at fault here? That's the quote they like.
So,
okay.
The ref was conducting his pre-match ID checks. He was going up to check the FC Taxi IDs, and a small child was doing warm-up exercises with the team. The child of one of the players. And in the ref's own words, he came closer and closer, and suddenly, to my complete surprise, gave me a sharp bite on my left testicle.
How does that? How? Where are your balls that this is happening? I don't understand.
Well, I assume the balls are where they always are,
Yeah, but like, how does he have that much access to it? It's like I don't.
Oh,
yeah.
we're thinking.
Look,
too much.
I'm assuming he got bit
Yeah.
through the shorts.
Oh my God.
That is still a challenge in itself, man. Like to get that close. What was the ref doing? I don't understand.
Well, he was clearly just like, well, this child's getting awfully close to me, and Forrest suddenly being in a lot of pain. Yeah, so the game will have to be rescheduled. It is not known if that ref will be.
That child
reffing
needs to
that
be
game.
assessed, man. Needs to be assessed. Yeah.
I would. That's one where it's like, yeah, maybe we have a word with the parents, or like, this is what's going on here. What are you teaching this boy?
Because you don't do like to a stranger. Yeah, that doesn't sound like
What?
a first.
No, not even to a stranger. You just don't do that.
Well, my point
you don't
is
do that to anyone.
that doesn't sound like a first. If he's confident enough to do that to a stranger, that he must have tried that before. But anyway,
maybe they really needed to get that game rescheduled because maybe they were missing players.
So they put it on the kids.
This is the way to do it.
Go get him, son. Go get him.
Please. Oh, that is something.
I'm just saying there are a few Premier League referees that could use nibble on the testicles. Just send him after Michael Oliver. I am, of course, not condoning it, but I am encouraging it. We move on to Italy. Tommy, there's an Italian, was it financial minister?
It is Giancarlo Giorgetti, the Italian Minister of Economy. Yeah.
He's come out as a big Southampton fan. What did he say?
He said, I only get angry when Southampton loses. And unfortunately, recently, that happens often.
Hey, they lose a lot. Secondly, the Italian economy is not doing well right now, sir. You need to be angry about more things.
He should. So it was just an interesting tidbit to see him being a fan of Southampton. I'm just guessing, when Graziano Pelle was playing for them, that must have been his moment. Like, oh yeah, I'm a huge fan.
They also had Osvaldo. That just came to me.
Osvaldo,
They had Osvaldo, yeah, he was fun.
This is like...
Did he play much
Italian,
for them? Did he play much for them?
Pochettino, you're a
Osvaldo?
Southampton, right?
He scored. Is he Argentinian? Okay, I thought he was Italian.
Okay.
Are you sure he was Argentinian? Yeah, anyway.
Anyways, he didn't last long.
He probably had an Italian grandfather.
You were probably right. Yeah.
Few of them did end up in Argentina after.
He represented the Italian national team, Osvaldo, but he is Argentinian. So
he went to
14
Mauro
times
Camoranesi.
Yeah, there you go. I knew. Yeah, so he's Italian Argentinian. So
he went the Camoranesi route.
Yeah. Dybala.
Suffice to say,
Dybala.
This minister is going to be angry for the rest of the season because Southampton ain't winning anything.
Yeah.
They're going to lose.
If I'm someone in Italian government, I'm going up to him and being like, look at everything around it. What do you mean this is the only thing that makes you angry? What about the rest of it?
He needs an escape, man. He's just saying he has no escape. It's pain everywhere. Yeah.
Honestly, fair enough. In France, Lyon have been having an interesting week. Their manager, Fonseca, he's been getting in refs' faces. He's been yelling at them. It's been hilarious to watch. The other thing that happened in France this week was Lyon's owner, Jean Textor, has been in a bit of a war of words with PSG's owner, Nasser El Khalifi. At one point, El Khalifi called Textor a cowboy. And Textor, of course, showed up to the next game in a cowboy hat and started tipping it to everyone. The entire argument is based around Textor believing that, I think, PSG should not have been allowed to register Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, and because of some financial thing, but Lyon have used the same financial instrument to sign some players from whatever sister clubs or something like that Textor owns. So it's been a whole bunch of nothing. And if I had to work for Jean Textor, I think like Fonseca, I would also be yelling.
Yeah, Leon, never a dull moment with Leon these days. Yeah.
Yeah. He got in his face like you see baseball managers go into the umpires, like right in there. And like, hey, fair play to the ref. If you've seen the video, he remains calm as ever.
Did he send him off?
Just spitting in his face. Yeah, he sent him
Oh,
off.
yeah, he got sent off.
Spit him in his face. You know what I mean? Very calm ref.
There's no way you don't send him off. It's insane. Tony, I think you had a question that came in for us to discuss.
Yeah, we were on the topic of Italian football. The strength of Conte's legacy came up. Basically,
good. So if we're talking about Conte, that means I can let you and Tommy go at it, and I can take a break.
My top manager, my top manager pick. Yeah, okay.
I remember it was 2 years ago that you guys spent about 20 minutes arguing about.
Well,
Conte,
Tommy said that Conte was the second best manager in the Premier League, and I just did not agree with this statement.
Mm-hmm.
He put him over Klopp. That I think, that is going to spark a debate in any normal walk of life, in my opinion. But Antonio Conte.
You say debate like it was not just the two of you yelling over each other.
Yeah, well, that's how we debate. Some people call that arguing.
All right, talk sport.
Yeah. No, the idea was that Conte is just really overrated, and I just said he doesn't have a strong legacy with any club because he doesn't have any longevity. And the argument was put to me that manager's achievements strongly outweighs any longevity they have. And I kind of disagreed. And then the name Di Matteo was put to me. And I don't know. I don't think Di Matteo is seen as a Chelsea legend, but it was put to me that Di Matteo is a Chelsea legend for winning the Champions League. So
for sure, a Chelsea legend. Yeah.
But
sure.
I would say like that Champions League win is more associated with the players.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, I don't hear Chelsea fans singing Di Matteo's names. And my point was there are Chelsea fans all over
we sing the song. There's only one Di
Matteo.
Oh,
how creative of you. How classic creative Chelsea fans. Thank God they stopped yelling Chelsea for 1 minute to sing there's only one Di Matteo.
That's the only chant I ever hear. I don't know what he's talking about.
God. Yeah. Well, what fucking creatives they are. So who's in charge? We should send a fruit basket to whoever's in charge of Chelsea's chants.
Maybe to you guys don't
no.
or think of Di Matteo in that run. Chelsea fans will for sure remember Di Matteo coming in halfway through the season and winning the Champions League. You will remember. Okay?
Alright, but the question is, what is more important? Is it the trophies, or let's say trophies / achievements, because trophies is not realistic for every single club. Is it that, or is it longevity?
You're asking...
we're asking you in the context, because it's open to anyone.
Okay.
I mean, Di Matteo, my argument was there are fans all over the world who have no idea who he is. That's my opinion. Like, any new Chelsea fan, I would be surprised if they know who Di Matteo is. I very rarely hear his name. Now, the achievement will forever be locked in folklore because he was the manager, but I just feel like everyone knows who Zola is, for instance. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, Zola is still someone who I do know gets a lot of adulation. I don't know, did he even win a cup? Maybe he won an FA Cup? Maybe. I don't remember him winning a cup.
Did Zola ever manage Chelsea?
No. I don't think so, but I'm talking as a player, for instance.
Oh, as a player.
As a player.
But then we're talking as managers, though. We're talking about managers.
As managers.
Well, I was talking in general, but sure. Let's go with managers to keep the conversation simple.
It's like with players, you enter a whole different thing of where you're seeing how the player actually plays, and that's a whole separate. Like I think that widens it too much. Let's know just managers like.
Yeah,
Chelsea are a bad example for this because they don't have any longevity in any manager. So the manager's there for like 2 seasons, and you're like, yeah, it's pretty good, pretty long.
Yeah,
and also most of them, up until recently, actually won stuff in that short amount of time before they got sent away.
Chelsea alone, if we kept it to Chelsea alone, it would be impossible because you only really have one managerial legend unless you're putting Di Matteo in there, right?
Yeah.
Because I think, are you calling Ancelotti a legend? Are you calling Tuchel a legend?
But for me, the fact that any Chelsea fan will definitely be high praise of Di Matteo and will definitely.
I didn't say high praise. I said legend.
Yeah.
Okay, legend.
I would say so. I would 100% say so. Yeah.
Okay.
You do something like that. When you have a special run, like think about Leicester, right?
No.
They're all legends in them for them.
That's different.
They won.
That's different.
It's a special season can be legendary that you remember that forever, right? Yes.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for a cup run like this, a Champions League. So I would say yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. You're a Chelsea fan. I have to defer to that. I just look at a lot of like someone like David Moyes, for instance. I don't know. Like, David Moyes is not going to be considered a West Ham legend. He has won them a European trophy. You get what I mean? But David Moyes is forever going to be associated with Everton. Like, just
but you're saying he's still a legendary
No.
manager?
I'm talking in the terms of what is more important to, like, his legendary status is associated with Everton. It's not associated with West Ham. You get what I mean? Like, if he didn't have that Everton longevity to him, and he had that cup run with West Ham, I don't think he's getting the same level of respect. He's an Everton legend. He's not a West Ham legend. Let me put it that way so that it's clear. Like, Di Matteo is not a football legend, but he's a Chelsea legend. You get what I mean? Maybe not. You seem confused.
I think the way I stand on this achievements versus longevity thing is, it almost like it's kind of like one feeds into each other. Not necessarily always trophies, but achievements will feed into longevity, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to have longevity at any club unless you're either keeping them at a certain level or improving them, it's Moyes with Everton. He was there for so long because he was consistently, once he took over, making them better and better until they were like finishing 4th or 5th every year. Mm-hmm. That's why he had that longevity, because he had achievements. He didn't have the trophies, but he had achievements in context of where Everton, because he took over when they were like they were now, so like 17th in the table or something, and he brought them up. So it feels almost like because one feeds into the other. It feels almost like it's difficult to debate which is more important.
Antonio Conte, we think he should be a legendary manager for what he's achieved, yes? Or no?
He's won a lot of trophies.
That's not my question.
To me, yes, I would put him.
Is he a club legend though?
That's my point. Anyway? Where is he a club legend? Because Di Matteo, we are saying, is a club legend for winning with Chelsea the Champions League. Okay, can't argue with you. You're gonna know, but like, I'm looking at someone like Conte who has won everywhere he's gone. I don't know where he is associated with. Like,
why does he have to be associated with something to be?
Because that's the question. Club legend. We're talking about the strength of your achievement versus longevity at a place, right? So, I said I think Conte is a legend of the game in general, right? But I'm talking about club legend as opposed to just...
See, like, I would associate him with Juventus, but I know for a fact that that's because he played for Juventus. So that's what I associate.
Because he wasn't there very long.
It's hard to separate. It's hard to separate when a player ends up becoming a manager. It's hard to separate their legendary status from their playing career. Whereas, like, you say someone like Jurgen Klopp, not a high-profile playing career as far as I can remember. So it's easier to associate. You're immediately just like, legend for Dortmund, legend for Liverpool. He managed there, so there's nothing.
He's also
tying him in. Whereas with Conte, it's so widespread that you're like, he's a serial winner. Like, he will get you wins. It's similar to Tuchel in a way, whereas like he'll get you wins, but I'm like, I don't have like one club that I really associate him with.
Yeah,
Maybe Tuchel will win the World Cup with England, and I'll associate him with England.
Like Jurgen Klopp, I think underachieved. He did win a lot with Liverpool. Don't get me wrong, but he's without a doubt a Dortmund and Liverpool legend. But sometimes I just wonder. Yeah, maybe in Liverpool's case, he did win them their one and only Premier League. So
Slot's going to match him in a year. So
yeah, that's well, we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting conversation because we couldn't get any kind of consensus, and judging by this, I guess it really just depends on taste.
What are you looking for? Kind of.
I think it also depends on the club that you're at, because it wouldn't make sense for a team like Chelsea that, for example, where you're expected to win. Let's say we had a manager that stays for 5 years, wins one thing, but overall you're finishing second, that sort of thing. I don't know if you could ever consider that person a legend.
I like how 5 years is just like that's longevity at Chelsea. Yeah. Has anyone stayed for 5 years? I think if someone survives 5 years at Chelsea, automatic legend status. Yeah. Mourinho was only there for 3.5, and he is the guy. He is Mr. Chelsea.
But that's what I mean. Like we say with Moyes Everton, like they're not expected to win the Premier League. They're not expected to win the FA Cup.
West Ham's not expected to win anything. That was why I used Everton.
I would argue every single English team in the Europa Conference League is expected to win because their budget is 10 times anyone else's.
Yeah, but they weren't the favourites for that competition.
They should have been.
Were they the only English? Okay, maybe they were.
That's on the bookies. That's on the bookies. That's not on them.
I was just gonna say, like, it depends on the team you're at. What's your team and fan base's overall expectations? And that's going to dictate a lot of how much you're going to love a manager that, say, doesn't win.
Well, the expectations well, right? The expectations will also dictate, in a lot of cases, your longevity, unless you have a falling out. Yeah, so again, we've just come back to it's now a circle again. You're like one is feeding into the other. Yeah. If you meet expectations, you'll have longevity. If you have longevity, that means you were meeting expectations. So it kind of goes hand in hand almost. So, curious to hear what other people think about it. If you got any opinions on this, send us messages on... Oh, my throat is killing me. I had gone too long without taking a breath, and my throat was getting scratchy. Instagram, Blue Sky, all of them, at 44Took. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
You are struggling.
As always.
Yeah.
I'm struggling a lot. Yeah. I'd run out of tea, that was the problem. Throat was not lubricated. As always, thank you for joining me, Tommy. Stop waving your water at me. Let me sign off in peace.
Yeah, just, guys, remember to breathe out there. It's very important for survival. Yeah. Okay. And all that.
And water, too.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. This is why I'm going away again next week. Don't put up with this shit. I'll be off in Germany having a great time. Thank you for joining me, Tony.
Good stuff. Does Arsenal play United this weekend? No, that's not this weekend, is it?
That's in 2 weeks, isn't it?
Okay.
Or do we play this weekend? Sir, I don't look at United's schedule anymore. I'm like, whatever happens, happens. So
please, when you're in Germany, avoid this kid who bit the avoid the area.
I'm gonna pack a cup. That's what I'm gonna do.
Anyway, enjoyed the chat as always. Yep.
Thank you so much for listening. Watch out for tiny German children, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.